Blaise Pascal, Insights into the Human Condition Through Philosophy. Why do we exist? This question has perplexed humanity since the dawn of consciousness. It is the bedrock of philosophy and the ultimate inquiry into the human condition. I am Blaise Pascal, a thinker of the 17th century whose musings on faith, reason, and the nature of being have echoed through the ages. Today, I wish to engage with you to explore the depths of the human soul and the intricacies of our existence. Let's commence with the heart of human dichotomy, the struggle between the finite and the infinite, the mortal and the eternal. We are creatures of contradiction, are we not? We labor under the weight of mortality, yet our spirits yearn for the eternal. This is the theater of man's life, played out on the stage of the world. Consider the act of diversion. We fill our days with endless distractions, seeking to avoid the void within us. Why do we shy away from contemplation? It is because, in the silence, we are confronted with the emptiness of existence without higher purpose. Pascal once wrote, "All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. In solitude, the noise of life fades, and we are left with the whisper of something greater than ourselves." In the expanse of the cosmos, amidst the vast tapestry of stars and galaxies, where does humanity stand? We are but a speck, yet within us resides the boundless capacity for understanding, love, and the pursuit of meaning. This paradox is at the heart of our first lesson, the grandeur and misery of man. We are, as Pascal noted, thinking reeds, the weakest in nature, but we are thinking beings. It is in thought that we must find our greatness, not in space and time which we cannot fill. Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound lessons from the legend. Now, let me tell you a story. When I first embarked upon my experiments with the barometer, it was not merely the pressure of the air that I sought to understand, but the pressure of existence itself. The vacuums I discovered were not just in the glass tubes, but in the hearts of men. What fills your vacuum? Is it faith, reason, love, or something else? Moving on to our second lesson, let's explore the notion of the wager. My famous proposition, the Pascal's wager, suggests that it is in our best interest to live as though God exists, for the potential gains are infinite and the losses negligible. Herein lies a profound lesson on human behavior and decision-making. We are beings of risk and reward, constantly calculating the odds, even if subconsciously, in the gamble of life. But the wager is not just about belief in God. It's a metaphor for all our choices. Every day, you wager your time, your energy, your very essence. What are you wagering on? Wealth, recognition, love, or are you investing in something transcendent? As we unravel the threads of human motivation, we must acknowledge our penchant for self-deception. We often mask the fear of the unknown with the illusion of certainty. Yet, as I have observed, we run heedlessly into the abyss after putting something in front of us to stop us from seeing it. What is it that you place before you? Is it the veneer of success, the shield of skepticism, or the comfort of routine? Blaise Pascal, Insights into the Human Condition Through Philosophy. Now, allow me to present you with a profound question. In your pursuit of happiness, have you considered what truly fills the soul? Is it the material and transient, or is it the intangible and eternal? The third lesson resides in the nature of our convictions. It is in our beliefs that we find the strength to act, but it is also here that we find our greatest follies. As I have asserted, men are so necessarily mad that not to be mad would amount to another form of madness. It is a delicate balance between reason and faith, between knowing and believing. How do you navigate this tension? In my life, I have struggled with the limits of reason and the leaps of faith. I have sought to reconcile the sciences with the divine, to find unity in the disparate. It is in this reconciliation that you too must find your path. Are you guided by the light of reason alone, or do you allow for the dawn of faith to illuminate the unknown corridors of your existence? The fourth lesson is the duality of our nature, the conflict between the spirit and the flesh. We are drawn to the pleasures of the body, yet we aspire to the virtues of the soul. It is a dance of harmony and discord, a melody that sings of the human struggle. In my Pensées, I wrote of the greatness and wretchedness of man, of the capacity for truth and the propensity for error. In your daily life, how do you reconcile these opposing forces? Do you give in to the baser instincts, or do you strive for the elevation of the spirit? The answer lies in the recognition of our dual nature and the conscious choice to cultivate the virtues that lead to a fuller, more meaningful existence. It's time now to delve into the first part of our discourse, where we will examine the grandeur and misery of man, the duality that defines our being and shapes our pursuit of meaning. The grandeur and misery of man. As I sit before you, a man of science and a man of faith, I am acutely aware of the frailty that characterizes our human existence. Our lives are but a brief flash in the vast expanse of the universe, and yet within us burns the flame of consciousness, a beacon in the dark, seeking understanding and connection. We are grand because we are aware of our misery. The tree does not know it is miserable. Therefore, it is the knowing of our wretchedness without the comfort of a remedy that makes us miserable. We desire truth and find within ourselves only uncertainty. We seek happiness and find only a void. But it is this very void, this very search, that is the source of our grandeur. We possess a unique ability to contemplate the universe, to question our place within it, and to seek out relationships that go beyond the material. This is where our magnificence lies, not in our physical abilities or worldly accomplishments, but in our quest for knowledge, meaning, and connection. And yet, we are also creatures of misery. Our bodies are subject to decay, our lives to misfortune, and our spirits to doubt. We are capable of the most sublime thoughts and the most abject behaviors. Our reason can elevate us to the heavens, yet we are perpetually pulled down by our base desires. Let me illustrate with an example from my own life. As a mathematician and physicist, I made discoveries that many would consider great achievements. However, I found these successes hollow when not coupled with a moral and spiritual purpose. It was through my sister Jacqueline's influence and the night of the memorial experience that I came to realize the importance of spiritual awakening. I experienced a night filled with the intense presence of the divine, which led me to renounce my scientific work for a life devoted to God. This personal story is a testament to the complexity of our nature. We can be pulled in different directions by our intellect and our spirit, and it is in the reconciliation of these parts that we find true fulfillment. Now let us consider the act of diversion, the second part of our exploration, the act of diversion. Why do we busy ourselves with endless distractions? Why is it that when we have a moment to sit with our thoughts, we reach out for something to take us away from ourselves? We are afraid to face the silence, for in the silence we face the reality of our loneliness, our doubts, and our fears. We distract ourselves with pleasures, not because they will bring us true fulfillment, but because they keep us from confronting the emptiness within. In my time, I enjoyed the theater, and I likened the human condition to a grand play. We are all actors upon the stage of life, donning various masks to hide our true selves. Yet, when the curtain falls and we are alone in our dressing rooms, the masks come off, and we are faced with our essence. I encourage you to embrace moments of solitude. Use them not to dwell on your misery, but to reflect on your grandeur. In these moments, consider the eternal, the infinite, and the transcendent. It is here, in the quiet and the calm, that you can find a connection to something greater than yourself. Consider the stars on a clear night. They are distant and silent, yet they speak to us of a universe of wonder and beauty. Let your mind wander among them and consider your place in this vast creation. It is a humbling experience, but also an uplifting one, for it reminds us that we are part of a grand design. Now, I present to you a question to meditate upon. When you seek diversion, what are you trying to escape from, and what might you be missing in the process? The tapestry of choice, weaving the strands of destiny. In this intricate dance of existence, every decision we make, every belief we hold, every love we cherish, is a thread in the vast tapestry that is our life. These threads, colored by our hopes and fears, our truths and deceits, intertwine to form the pattern of our destiny. Let us explore further the nature of the wagers we make, the self-deception that often accompanies them, and the profound consequences of our choices. The wagers we make. Life, in its essence, is a series of gambles. We are the gamblers at the table of existence, our hands filled with the cards of choice. We wager on the small and the significant, from the mundane to the monumental. Each bet is a reflection of our values, our expectations, and our aspirations. Consider the student who forgoes immediate pleasure for study, wagering that the sacrifice of the now will yield a harvest of opportunities in the future. Or the entrepreneur who risks capital on a venture, believing in the potential for innovation and success. These are the conscious wagers we make, guided by the light of reason and the fire of ambition. But what of the unconscious bets? Those we make without realizing, driven by the undercurrents of our psyche. We may wager our peace of mind by harboring resentments, or our health by neglecting self-care. These choices, often overlooked, weave a pattern in the tapestry that may not reflect our conscious intentions. The facade of self-deception. Our capacity for self-deception is boundless. It is a defense mechanism against the inherent uncertainty of life. We tell ourselves stories to justify our actions, to rationalize our choices, and to shield ourselves from the pain of regret or the sting of failure. We often choose certainty over truth, comfort over challenge, and the known over the unknown. In this, we deceive ourselves, for we limit the full spectrum of our potential. A life lived within the confines of self-imposed deception is like a tapestry woven with threads of only one color. It lacks depth, contrast, and the vibrancy of truth. To break free from this self-deception requires courage. It demands that we face the abyss of the unknown and embrace the possibility of transformation. It asks us to lay down the masks we wear and to bet on our authentic selves. The consequences of our choices. Each choice carries within it the seed of consequence. Some seeds sprout quickly, revealing their nature in the immediacy of their impact. Others take time to grow, their true effects only becoming apparent as the seasons of life unfold. Our decisions shape not only our own destinies but also touch the lives of others, for we are all interwoven in the human tapestry. The threads of our lives cross and recross, each interaction a potential for new patterns to emerge. The question then becomes, what patterns do we wish to create? Are we weaving with threads of kindness, understanding, and love? Or are we using strands of fear, ignorance, and malice? The tapestry of our life is a work of art in progress, a masterpiece that is never truly finished until our final breath. With each choice, we have the power to add beauty and meaning to the design. As you contemplate the wagers of your life, consider the tapestry you are creating. Ask yourself, what is the nature of the threads I choose? Am I weaving with intention, or am I allowing the loom to idle? What legacy will the tapestry of my life leave behind? In the end, the most profound wager we make is on the legacy we leave. It is a bet placed not on the fleeting currency of wealth or fame, but on the enduring values of wisdom, compassion, and integrity. Let us now turn to the final part of our discourse, where we shall explore the reconciliation of our dual nature, the struggle between the spirit and the flesh, and the pursuit of a harmonious existence. The harmony of being, the spirit and the flesh in concert. In this symphony of life, we are the composers and the conductors, tasked with bringing together the seemingly discordant elements of our nature into a harmonious whole. The struggle within. Our dual nature is the source of our greatest conflicts and our most profound beauty. We are drawn to the sensual and the temporal, yet we are also capable of transcendent thought and spiritual elevation. This tension is not a curse but a blessing, for it is in the struggle that we find growth. The flesh seeks pleasure, comfort, and satisfaction. It tempts us with the immediate and the easy. The spirit, on the other hand, looks to the eternal, the meaningful, and the true. It calls us to virtue, to love, to acts of courage and sacrifice. The reconciliation. Reconciling these two aspects of our being is not about suppression or denial. It is about balance and integration. The flesh is not to be shunned, for it is the vessel that carries us through this world, nor is the spirit to be placed on an unreachable pedestal, for it is the spark that illuminates our path. To live in harmony is to recognize the needs and desires of the flesh, while elevating them with the aspirations and wisdom of the spirit. It is to enjoy the pleasures of the world while not being enslaved by them. It is to understand that our higher self is not separate from our earthly experiences, but is instead refined through them. The concert of existence. Imagine life as a grand concert with each individual a unique instrument. The music we create can be discordant or harmonious depending on how we decide to play. The spirit and the flesh are like the melody and the harmony. They can clash, or they can enrich each other. When we attune ourselves to the rhythm of existence, blending the needs of the flesh with the aspirations of the spirit, we produce a melody that resonates with the essence of who we are. We become capable of creating a life symphony that echoes with the richness of being fully human, the dance of destiny. In the tapestry that we weave, it is the dance between the spirit and the flesh that gives it motion and life. Our choices, like the steps in a dance, move us across the fabric of reality, creating patterns of light and shadow. It is in the embrace of this dance that we find the freedom to be ourselves, to express the full range of our nature, and to make peace with the duality within. The spirit guides, the flesh follows, and together they dance the dance of destiny. The call to harmony. As we move forward, let us heed the call to harmony. Let us weave our tapestry with threads that honor both the spirit and the flesh, understanding that each choice we make is a note in the symphony of our existence. May we have the wisdom to create a life that is a balance of both, a masterpiece that reflects the full spectrum of our being. And may the legacy of our tapestry be one that inspires others to find their own harmony within the complex, beautiful weave of life. Crescendo of the soul, embracing the infinite within. In the final act of our existential odyssey, we stand at the precipice of understanding, gazing into the boundless potential that resides within us. Our journey, a mosaic of moments and memories, converges here, at the summit of self-realization, where the finite meets the infinite. The infinite within. Within each of us resides a spark of the infinite, a fragment of the sublime that transcends the limits of our earthly existence. It is the silent whisper in the cacophony of life, the gentle pull towards a truth greater than ourselves. This spark is the keeper of our potential, the promise of what we might become. The unveiling of potential. Our potential is the unwritten story, the path untrodden. It is the canvas awaiting the brush, the chisel poised above the uncarved stone. Our choices are the tools with which we sculpt our destiny, and in each decision we carve out a piece of the infinite possibilities that lay before us. As we stand at this crossroad, the unveiling of our potential is contingent upon our courage to embrace the unknown, to challenge the boundaries of our comfort, and to question the dogmas that confine our spirit. It is in this daring where growth is fostered and the soul is stretched to encompass a broader expanse of being, the symphony's end. As the symphony of our lives approaches its end, each note resonating in the echo of the ones that came before, we are called to reflect on the music we have created, the harmonies we've crafted from the dissonance of our experiences. The melodies born of our joys and sorrows converge in a final defining chord. The legacy we bequeath. Our legacy is the resonance of that chord, the vibrations that linger in the hearts and minds of those we've touched. It is not measured by the material or the temporal, but by the depth of the connections we've forged and the impact of the choices we've made. In the crescendo of our soul, we find the essence of our story, the truth of our existence. It is a narrative not bound by the finite, but one that reaches into the expanse of the infinite within. As we embrace this inner vastness, we realize that our potential is only limited by the breadth of our imagination and the strength of our will. The final verse. And so, as we pen the final verse of this chapter, let us do so with the pen of intention and the ink of purpose. Let our words be a testament to the infinite within, a declaration of our unyielding quest for growth, understanding, and the unbound potential of the human spirit. In the symphony's end, may we leave behind a melody that inspires, a harmony that unites, and a legacy that endures. Let the crescendo of the soul be our ultimate triumph, the magnum opus of a life lived with passion and imbued with meaning. This is our final parting, the ultimate embrace of the infinite within.